What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Pat Bernard, a.k.a. The Gobbler, a.k.a. Pat from Ambler. And boy, oh boy, and again, the 76ers loss come down the stretch. And one must be wondering, where is Tobias Harris? Where was that Tobias Harris that we saw on Sunday? Of course, I don't think anyone had the expectations this dude was going to be wildfire, going to carry on that little spurt that he had with Joel Embiid's conversation with the guy. He just turned out to be a candle. He was hot for 1 second, going out to the next. Of course, with me is Nighthawk himself, Sean Bernard from Fox Gambler. Sean, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, that was a frustrating one. Brutal back-to-back losses for the Sixers. You have to take at least one of those, and frankly, they should have taken both. And I get that they're shorthanded, but you know what? So are the Grizzlies, and they're just a straight-up bad basketball team. That was within their grasp, getting outscored 34-16 in the fourth, a brutal collapse, a lot to nitpick from decision-making, rotations, and just overall play from mainly the guy that you brought up first, Tobias Harris. So super frustrating loss, and one that they may pay the price for when you talk about seedings at the end of this conversation.
Yeah, and it's honestly the elevators just dropping. It just felt like yesterday afternoon they were in the fifth seed. Now they dropped down to seventh, and this bad boy could get ugly fast. And I was saying to Mitch prior to, I said it's amazing without the big man in the center. It's really dawned on me within the last 40 hours. This team is nothing more than a bottom feeder, just with no communication on the floor, no direction, no one willing to take over. And obviously, there's no Maxey going along with it either. Mitch, your thoughts on today's game right off the bat?
The first thing I'm going to start off with, in the beginning of the game, I was saying, who's going to stop Jaren Jackson Jr.? Who on this team could stop that guy? The answer, nobody. Jaren Jackson had a field day. There was no Kyle Lowry, and especially in that fourth quarter, Kyle Lowry brings veteran leadership and he trusts and just point playmaking and everything. We miss Kyle Lowry so much in this game, and Tobias Harris, don't even get me started on that. Don't even get me started because I've had enough of Tobias Harris. About time, too. When Dives is not here, he does terrible.
Yes,
Thank God.
I gotta take that back. I gotta take that back because I told that man to post. I told him to post 2 weeks in, but he doesn't have to do it. He could keep his job. Tobias, I'm not so sure about, but he could keep his job. Steve checking in. First off the bat, Steve says Band-Aid team on a back-to-back versus a Band-Aid team on a night rest. The latter team is going to win 3 teams out of 4. That's how it's going to go. That's how it goes. Yeah, listen, it's bad, dude. It is bad. This team is just frustrating to watch. And like you said, it's a Band-Aid team. This is a Memphis Grizzlies team. You look up and down that lineup. Who can you name? Who's there's no big name. If you run it on tomorrow, you won't recognize these guys. But they thumped you. They thumped you at home. At home, it's mind-boggling. And again, Tobias Harris, only 8 points in 38 minutes. It's like, were you even on the floor? Were you there? I mean, what's going on? It's a painful product. And I thought this guy was was going to have this shift momentum, and he was going to be this all-out player. And I thought tonight he would have responded from last night, and nothing. It's like you said, Sean. This guy's going through another cold stretch at the most unavailable time. This is crucial, and you're letting this elevator just drop. This is supposed to be Tobias time, and nothing, Sean, out, nothing.
Yeah, and I agree with Steve's overall point here, but my pushback would be that these are teams that should carry themselves very differently. That this Grizzlies team is a team that is packed it in for the season, is focused on next year, is focusing on identifying what pieces of this team are relevant to stick around for the long term. Guys like Gigi Jackson, who I absolutely love, but is the youngest guy in the entire NBA. Guy like Vince Williams Jr., who's awesome, but a guy far ahead of when he will be hitting his prime as a player. Santi Aldama. They got fine connecting pieces and fine players, but this is a team that isn't remotely considering actually competing this year. And I get the Sixers are shorthanded. I get you're missing Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, DeAnthony Melton, Kyle Lowry. The list goes on and on. But if you want to be a serious winning organization, these are the games that you have to take advantage of regardless of who's on the floor. And that starts with Tobias Harris. And the way you said, that's a $40 million man. That is a guy that should head and shoulders look like the best player on the floor, and he straight up didn't. And in fact, he looked far worse than that. He was a guy that if you just watched that game, had no knowledge of these players, and asked, okay, so who's supposed to be the best player out here? Who's the guy that is leading the charge? There's not going to be a single finger that points at Tobias Harris, and that is the issue. A guy like Buddy Hield as well. He's a legitimate NBA player. The Sixers had more of those than the Grizzlies do, and I do think this says a lot about the Sixers that they weren't able, both these games, both last night and tonight, I think they were games that were essentially given to them. They had the opportunity to win, and they just straight up didn't take it, and that says a lot about this team.
Yeah, all points on the contrary. I mean, this is pretty bad. Again, Toby is just again. It's just bad. It's just I don't know. I don't know what are we going to do with this guy? What can they do? And it's just like you said, the biggest paid player on the court, and you want to bench him immediately. Immediately, you will look for the adjustment. Okay, they're Ricky canceling here. Give me Tavon Smith right now. Give me anything besides him on the floor. Because anything, he's a Zamboni driver. Right now, he's just soaking up time. And right now, you don't need that. You need crucial minutes from crucial time players. And this is again, just nothing, just blood. And that second half was just blood. It was just empty. It was flat. It was nothing. It was flat. So, Mitch, I'll go to you. I mean, again, what should Nick Nurse do by now? I mean, or what can he do right now? Is he just suffering? He has to put Toby out there because of the contract, or what?
That's the same thing I've been asking myself every single day for the last 5 years. That's exactly what I've been asking myself. There's nothing that the Sixers team can do with this Tobias Harris. We're literally handcuffed. It is just crazy how overpaid he is, how bad he is, and everything. It's just like, I don't know. There's nothing that Nick Nurse can do. But if we get Robert Covington back in like a week and a half, he can get into those minutes again and then becoming a starting player than Ben Tobias. So definitely better than Batum. We miss Covington so much on the defensive side of the ball, especially in his corner three. So hopefully Covington can come back and save this.
Yeah, listen, before we go any further, let's get in some of the comments here. My man Quinn is all ready. Toby, yes, I'm sorry. Toby bad tonight for you. Toby bad, okay? Toby in 2 nights, very bad, okay? Marshawn said, did we lose? Yes. Thanks for being thanks for the gut punch. Steve says, for anyone to excessively mentally invest in a game like this is pretty much foolish. Yeah, listen, you try. You're just looking to be optimistic there, Steve. I mean, and this team gave you nothing. Again, you're looking for someone to take over. B-Ball Paul took over in that second quarter, and after that, it was just Nick Batum gave you a little bit of a spark, and it was just like, okay, who's next? And there was never next. There was never that guy to do the next. And Toby just constantly just playing transition game and nothing. So yeah, I got nothing for that. Evening, everyone. What's up? Daniel Barrich also saying Mitch rant coming. Yeah, that's already been planted. Well, and that's what. And look, like Sean, if you're a casual, you said an NBA fan, you look at this and you're like, wow, you looked at the Sixers lost to the Grizzlies. How? And you're just trying to figure, you're scratching your head, and that's what a lot of people are looking at. Like you said, the Memphis Grizzlies are building them for next year. They might have found some good pieces. Again, they walled the Brooklyn Nets, the other night. So and now they come to South Philly and beat the brakes off not beat the brakes, but they beat the Sixers in their very own home. It's just not good. It's just not good basketball right now. If you think when Embiid comes back, things are going to get better, well, I have a bridge for sale. Sean, you want this one?
Yeah, I mean, like we've talked a little bit about this, but the issue with this specific Sixers team is each of these guys are built to play next to Joel Embiid. A guy like Nico Batum is a super useful player with Joel Embiid on the floor. That he makes quick decisions. He's a good entry passer. He's a good catch and shooter. Makes quick catch and shooter. When you take Joel Embiid out of the equation, there, what does he really do on a basketball court? That he doesn't really have any distinguishing skills. A guy like Buddy Hield, kind of similar. That when Embiid returns to the floor, he's going to be excellent. That the whole offense is going to open up. He's going to get freer shots than we've seen from him in a Sixers uniform. But right now, he's a little overextended from what his role is. And you can kind of go down the roster looking at these things. The bottom line is Joel Embiid's the reigning MVP of the league. He's led the league in scoring the past 2 seasons and was on pace to do it for a third, while being one of the most impactful defensive players in the league. I think it says a lot about Joel Embiid for how poor this team looks right now. They're absolutely going to be better with him on the floor, and they still have a fighting chance, assuming he comes back, and it seems like all good news in that regard. But it's tough right now, and you see the limitations with this team when he's not there. And frankly, without Joel Embiid, this is a lottery-bound team. So shout out to Joel for keeping this team afloat.
Yeah, our very own Joe Sheeran here on Edge of Philly Sports said he should just get MVP alone because without him, this team is cooked. And that's what it's looking like. Quinn Chekanenga's guard play was dismissal from Little Isol. Mitch, what do you think about the guard play from tonight?
The guard play was just like this whole game bad, except for Dalton. Dalton had a good game tonight. He actually stepped up on the defensive side, made some good passes, scored the bucket when he had to. That was the only guard that did well. Let's be honest. That's the only guard that did well. And especially if you miss Kyle Lowry's leadership, veteran ability, and him leading us to victory, we're not going to stand a chance. We need Kyle Lowry on this team. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah, and no, you're right. Again, I mean, listen, something you and I mentioned. What gives this guy? I get it. This is a back-to-back night, but what gives him the honor to have this low management? I mean, I like him, but don't get me. This team needed him on the floor specifically. I mean, the way he's been starting, the way the team's been getting going, all that stuff. We need him. We need him to be on the floor. We couldn't rely on Cameron Payne and stuff and Toby. We need as well. Again, he's been very cold as late. We needed Lowry on the floor, and it's just been very, very cold. And I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I don't know if that's the front office. I don't know if it's a deal that they made prior to that contract. I don't know.
I mean, he's about to turn 38 like this week or next week. I think this was kind of part of the deal when you brought him in. He logged 36 minutes last night, which I think is far more than either Lowry or the Sixers expected for him to be playing at any point in the Sixers uniform. So I think the shorthanded nature has overextended him far more than anyone really thought would be the case. And the bottom line is this was a playoff signing, that this is a guy that you expect to be a difference maker come postseason. So while it sucks that he can't suit up for a back-to-back against the Memphis Grizzlies, the Sixers are looking at the bigger picture with Lowry. So I get it, but it doesn't make it too much easier to swallow.
No, you're absolutely right, Sean. Steve Chekanenga is your remaining scorer are both 31 years old on the back-to-back. If anyone is expecting the Sixers to win this game, they need to get their head checked. Yeah, listen, and again, look, Steve, it's more about we thought maybe, listen, you're going to respond to a bad loss last night. You're going to come back and take care of business at home, and you're just being optimistic, and it turned out not that way. Again, the Grizzly team is just looking for diamonds in the rough right now, and who knows with this Sixers team, everyone looks pretty good. So Quentin checking in the fourth quarter looked like a Doc game. Wow, Mitch, you want that one?
Are you sure? I got no words. Literally, I have no words. It's Doc Rivers. Oh my God.
The frustrating part is the Doc Rivers' best quality as a head coach is his ability to win these types of games. That he's a floor-raising head coach. He does his best, such as the other night coaching the Bucks without Giannis when they beat the Clippers. Like those are the moments where Doc gets in his bag and actually makes the coaching decisions. I think his flaw as a coach is when he sits back and lets things happen in a way that the team falls apart. We saw plenty of that in Philadelphia. So you can make the argument that tonight I would rather have Doc Rivers as the head coach. But when looking big picture, I'm not taking this back. Nick Nurse, there's still plenty that he's going to do. And even some of the play designs, like Kelly Oubre got stuffed at that final play going to the rim. But I love that play design, getting him downhill. That's your best chance to generate offense. And then, like, there were little things that I still liked out of Nurse. Plenty to nitpick from a rotational standpoint. And I get being upset tonight, but he's not Doc Rivers. And I think we should be grateful for that.
Yes, true. I totally agree. Well, let's get into another player and perfect timing. I couldn't picture this perfect. Yes. We're going to talk about your buddy, Nick. Yes, we know you're ready. After that second quarter, we knew you were ready to build a statue and right there in your front lawn. So let's get B-Ball Paul though actually had a decent second quarter. I mean, a couple of plays he was making inside the paint where he made that nice little layup. The way he got some rebounds and fought off 3 defenders. I mean, Mitch, what was your take on B-Ball Paul tonight?
Hey, in that second quarter, he was good. He was actually doing everything that he needed to do from this team. And other than that, basically it's the same thing. What do you finish? I mean, he finished with 17, 11 boards,
17, 11,
double-double,
yeah.
but 17, 11, I mean, okay. That's about it.
Sean,
And
what
he
was your
fouled
take
out
on
of the
B-Ball
game,
Paul?
too. He fouled out of the game, too.
Yeah.
I thought
Yes, he did.
I thought Paul Reed was awesome tonight. I thought the effort was pretty infectious. I thought that second quarter he changed the game. He was diving on the floor, getting for loose balls, winning rebounds with 4 guys around him. He did the B-Ball Paul things that I like. He even got in his bag a little bit, knocked down a 3, hit a little turnaround mid-range, which I didn't love him taking, but you know what? It counts for 2 points when it goes through the net. So I was impressed with Paul overall. Tough hand to be dealt matching up with Jaren Jackson Jr., who's a very good big man and had the size advantage, and that's where a lot of the fouls came from. The 6th foul was frustrating. You never want to get your hand caught in the cookie jar like that, and those are the ones that Paul has to cut out of his game. But overall, I thought this was a very good Paul Reed game. I thought he had a very positive impact on this game, and as far as the competition, I think that being benched for that period of time for Mo Bamba really woke up Paul Reed, that we've got the best version of him, and through Paul's good play and Mo Bamba's bad play, it seems like Paul is very clearly the second best center on the roster behind Joel Embiid now.
Yeah, he's put up a double-double tonight, so I got to give him his props. Again, just the way he was a warrior tonight, just kind of played his heart out, especially in that second quarter. Again, just had some nice, beautiful shots right there. Again, just getting some boards, and that was the most important. So, take what you can from B-Ball Paul. I loved his game tonight. I thought he was really, really awesome. Marshall Lynch checking in, comparison Glenn, who had Joel Maxey, Harden, Nurse, who has the Cookie Man, Melton, and Reed is just nasty work. Yeah. You make a great point there, Marshall. He goes, yeah, Cookie Man strikes again. Yes. On back of a milk carton, he goes. Absolutely. And on the top of that, the remaining players that we have are 2 to 3 weeks together. I'm sorry. Y'all built the expectation for tonight is totally foolish. No, look, Steve, and again, you were just hoping for optimistic right now. You're just hoping they would stay competitive. Again, the last 2 games, back to back, no matter what, against the Nets and the Grizzlies on paper, you should have had a couple wins. You could at least stayed in that 5th seed, but no, you now you're falling apart at the wrong time. Right now, it's all prayer to get Joel Embiid back on the floor or something. And, again, I thought Max would at least we would have heard something, and it's nothing. One thing we've learned over the time we've had Joel Embiid, you can't trust this medical team. They'll tell you one day, and 10 years later, the guy will be back. So their medical staff is horrible. Guards were 12 for 34. Sure, blame Toby. Oh, here we go. Here goes Toby's lawyer. Come right in here. Mr. Rutherford. Yeah. Oh boy, here we go. There goes the battle. Wrong tonight, Q. Wrong night, Q. Mud pulling over cookie crumb. Yes. Mo Bamba. He goes. I felt Mo Bamba should have been played more, especially over Ricky. I don't know about that. I don't know. Sean, how do you feel about that? Mo Bamba should have got more playing time than Ricky.
I will say there was a stretch during this game that I would have given Mo Bamba a chance earlier, just from a size standpoint, that I thought Jaren Jackson Jr. was really asserting himself just due to how big he is. That guy like KJ Martin, you just can't hang with a dude who has a 6-inch and 50-pound advantage over you. So I would have thrown Mo at him a little early just to give a different look and try and shake things up. But I do think it's pretty clear that Bamba, and for good reason, has kind of fallen out of faith with Nick Nurse. And I think that's pretty notable and clear, especially on a night like tonight, as shorthanded as they are.
Yeah, and absolutely, I totally agree. Again, like I said, this is the cards that he's dealt. This is, unfortunately, like I said, Mo Bamba trying to get some more playing time. And listen, we're just begging for any kind of positivity. Again, Mo Bamba kind of did his thing tonight. Like you said, I was begging for a little bit of Ricky Council again, and we were both. And Ricky Council again just struggled again when with no Joel Embiid. You are the main target, and you got to remember these guys on the Memphis Grizzlies, like I said, trying to play for a spot for next year, and all those things, all those intangibles. Again, they're trying to be a piece for next year. So we'll see what happens from there on out with that Grizzly team. Question for you right here, Mitch. Remember that kept Toby over Jimmy Butler. It's going to be end up another process. You all right with that one?
You know how many times I get this? This is like the Sixers were stuck. We were stuck. Jimmy Butler was out. We did not choose Tobias over him. We were stuck. At that time, we could not afford to lose them both.
Correct.
Jimmy Butler was mad at the whole Brett Brown and Ben Simmons. We did not choose Tobias Harris over him. I'm getting tired of that, bro. I feel like a broken record player.
There is a good bit of revisionist history there. I do appreciate that. Is a more accurate detailing of what went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here goes Mike Green. Goes, do you think Josh Harris says to Nurse, I'm paying him well. I want him to play. I guess he's meant for Toby.
Yeah.
I think it's him and Morey.
Mm-hmm. You have Jalen Jackson in the middle. You know Toby is not doing anything down low tonight. You expect anything different from the intensity? Again, we know they're playing in. It was they didn't have a legit big man down there, of course. And Memphis took kudos to Memphis for taking a full advantage of it. Again, just looked really, really good. Rick Davis from Twitter saying, sick and tired of this team. They have zero leadership and off the court. Zero leadership on and off the court. Mitch, you kind of talked about this. You kind of nailed on this one a little bit. There was no leadership on this floor tonight, and again, you would expect that from Toby. You would think Toby would be that guy, to be the leadership guy, to be everything that what they're supposed to be, and nothing. Just blank. Just it's just terrible. Just terrible.
All I gotta say is this: Kyle Lowry come back on Friday. Do we need leadership in the second half? Please.
You're going to need everything you can against that Pelicans team. Again, that's going to be no day.
I don't even know who's going to guard Zion. I don't even know who's going to guard Ingram. I don't even know who's going to guard CJ. I go on and on.
Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, Sean. So let me ask you, what was your thoughts on Kelly Oubre tonight? Coming off the bench, just putting up some big numbers. Again, 30 points for Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good Kelly Oubre game. It wasn't perfect, and as I always say with Kelly, you do have to take the bad with the good when there are the poor decision making, the sometimes reckless way that he attacks the basket, and just coming to some of the decision making processes aren't always perfect. But I do think that he's made like a real deal change in his processing of the game, that he's looking to get downhill and attack the basket way more, that he's stopping settling for some of these poor jumpers, and he's just getting to the rim. Some of those dunks tonight were awesome. I know he was just 7 for 21 from the field, but they needed every one of those shots that he did put up. And like from a standpoint of his processing of the game, I feel like he just kind of had the light bulb go off of, I'm way bigger and more athletic than so many of these guys out here, and I'm just going to take advantage of it. And that is when he's at his best, is when he is attacking the rim, when he is rising up, trying to put it on people's heads. And he got it down quite a few times tonight. So I was happy with Kelly. I don't think they're remotely in this game if he wasn't there. Again, there's stuff that you can nitpick, and he's never going to be perfect. But I'm very happy with the spark that he's brought these past couple games. And if we can get this version of Kelly every single night, I'll be very happy about that.
I agree. If again, momentum. Again, the way he took it to the basket, the way he got a couple of rebounds. Again, just being a playmaker in the middle. The way he got his couple elbow jumpers. The way I saw, a nice couple of floaters. Again, just the way he made, beautiful dunk though. He had. So again, you put that couple games like this against these kind of teams. Again, we don't know what he's going to bring against that Pelicans team. We're just hoping for the rest of the team to kind of show up with it. Here goes Mr. Rudy Poo. He goes, fellas, what's the point of bringing Joel Embiid back? Let's get him healthy, and then offload him for assets. We need a superstar to wing. Let's wing it for 2024, fellas. Mitch, I'll give you this one.
We need something. We need Joel Embiid back just for the fact I don't want to be in the play-in, but it looks like we are at this point. We're the 7th seed right now. We can't afford to go any lower. So as soon as he comes in, if we can stay to the upper half of the play-in, I'm fine with it. But I'd rather be out of that. I'd rather be 6 at least. We need him back.
Yeah. Ouch. Thanks, Zach. He goes 15 blocks by Memphis. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder, bud. Bleeping trash in organization. Stop, guys. Our glass MVP won't help. Oh, come on, dude. That's foolish. There, Bill. That's foolish. I mean, if he comes back on men's restrictions, there's a lot that man can do. There's a lot that talent you're not going to shy away from. When he's on the floor, he's the best basketball player on the planet. Stop that.
Every
That's
single
foolish.
night.
Every
Every
single
single
night,
Yeah.
averaging 30. I mean, come on, Bill. You got to think a little smarter than that. Yes, I get it. You're just like a lot of Sixer fans. Well, he's going to get injured. You right now, you could trade him half the NBA and once still even stack up. He still wouldn't even stack up. That's just crazy to talk like that right now. And listen, I understand your frustrations, but you can't talk like that. Toby goes. Toby. Mr. Rudy Poo says Toby was not a good man. Toby was not a good man. He needs to be the 16th man off on the roster. I totally agree. I think he should be the towel boy at this point. I think it's terrible with him. It's again. You're looking for momentum games, and these 2 games should have been your momentum, and nothing. So maybe he just needs a day to cool down. I think sometimes he gets his own head. Where there's shots for him to be making, and it's not. He gives you these tiny little outbursts. It's like, okay, there goes Toby, and then he goes right back to the milk carton. He goes, Bill says his team is trash. Come on, man. Currently they're trash, but Pooh, the Sixers are very, very stinky. Yeah, okay, very good. Thank you, Walter. Do the Sixers make? Oh, our very own Matty B. Did the Sixers make the playoffs? Probably isn't in-play
Yeah.
tournament. I don't think. I think they'll be your by the all end of this. I think they'll be a 10 seed, nothing more, nothing less.
I would say worst case is the 8. I see no world where they drop below the 8 seed. There's a 5-game gap between the Chicago Bulls sitting in 9th. I don't see anywhere where they drop that far. And when you look at it's obviously changing as the results are coming in tonight. But as of this morning, the gap between the 4th seed and the 10th seed, or 4th seed and the 9th seed, I believe it was 1.5 games. That all these teams are going to flip-flop throughout this next stretch. These are the ones that you need to win from just a seeding standpoint for the Sixers. So unfortunate. But the reality is that even if they drop to the play-in, you get a healthy Joel Embiid, and there's not a single team that wants to face this team in the opening round. And even if you want to be super optimistic here, say they drop into the play-in and the Cavs end up with the 2 seed, Sixers win the play-in and they get that 7 seed. Give me the Cavs in round 1. The Sixers absolutely destroy this Cleveland team, and I think pretty easily. So there is a world where this still shakes out fine, but they're not missing the playoffs entirely.
No, I don't think so either. Like I said, this is the furthest they're going to drop. Mitch, how about you? When you look at this as a glass ball, where do you see the 76ers falling to? Are you agree? Are you in agreement of this going to be an
I'm kind
8
of
seed
there,
team?
like 6, 7, 8. I'm around that range. So if we get 6, Cleveland's at 3. So I like that matchup right there. And then 7, 8, I just don't want to be in the plan. That's a personal for me, but I could see 7th or 8th too.
Yeah. Welcome to the garage. Says when you're getting beat in the paint by Jackson, why doesn't Nurse rely on Mobama? You want
Don't
that,
agree.
Mitch?
There's nothing for me to say on that.
Yeah.
I
Nick
agree.
Batum.
I think it would have been worth a shot, but we know what Mo Bamba is at this point. I think from a size standpoint, like I would have thrown it out there to try it, but I wouldn't have had high expectations there either.
Right. I totally agree. Again, we're begging for answers right now, and that's what we're all getting mad for a team that's clearly banged up with both, or not just one, but 2 of their best players out. So what did you expect? We're looking for hope, and we're hoping for somebody to take the bull by the horns, and you're just not going to get that. I mean, you might as well just put up the white flag now and just and just wave it until one of the 2 get back here, and then you could have some hope. But Nick Batum, 30 minutes played. This team is not real. listen, we're going to get this all through tonight. So let me get into player of the game because we could stay here all night answering questions and answers from the people. We appreciate it too. Keep them coming. Appreciate it. Matter of fact, like, subscribe, and listen. Pat Bernard, Sean Bernard, follow these guys on Twitter. Mitch Koski, give him a follow on Twitter, please. Keep it coming. Let's get into player of the game. All right. Listen, I don't think the three of us here have Toby written down anywhere. So, Mitch, I'll go to you. Who's your player of the game?
For me, it's Kelly Oubre, man. It's Kelly Oubre. 25 points off the bench, 7 for 21 from the field. Did not shoot well from three, but at least he attacked the rim and got 9 for 9 out of the free throw line. 4 boards. He did have 5 turnovers, but for me, it is Kelly Oubre by a mile.
Okay, that's a good selection. Kelly Oubre should be your pick. Sean, who's your pick of the night?
I'm split between two right now. Do you want to go first, Pat?
I'll give you the layup.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll roll with for the vibes. Go with Paul Reed here. 17 and 11. Double. I thought he did everything that you could ask from him tonight. I get fouling out, frustrated. Again, he is another guy that you got to take to bed with the good a little bit. But I thought this is one of his better performances of the season. Thought he was super impactful. Thought the energy was there, diving on the floor, all these things. This was the madness that you want to see with Paul Reed. Love the effort level overall. So give me Paul Reed as my player of the game.
Paul Reed going to Sean Bernard. And again, took the words out of my mouth. I mean, again, if not, your first half was all rely on him, especially in that second quarter. It was all B-ball Paul. Again, just a playmaker. He did phenomenal in the second quarter. Just getting boards, layups, fighting off defenders, everything you wanted. He was aggressive in the paint, everything. I like it. I'm going to go Buddy Hield. I think 15, 17 point range. Had 3 from beyond the arc. Again, when you need some of the score, he was in the paint scoring for you. Give me Buddy Hield for my player of the game. So I don't think anybody was going to sign up for Toby. I think if player's not to pick, he would be there. And listen, again, we're going to get into grades of the game. All right, guys, player of the game. Sean, I'll go to you first. What grade would you give this 76ers team?
I'll go be a generous D+ tonight. Very much gauging my expectations going in. It's tough still not to be frustrated. Like, I get, obviously, the lineup they're rolling out, the talent level, which has been severely chopped since what this team is at its best. But just the way that game played out, being outscored 34-16 in the fourth quarter, I can't give this anything close to that good of a grade. So, yeah, D+ for me. This is one that leaves a sour taste in my mouth. And I will throw just one more quick shout out. The guy that I was also thinking for player of the game, shout out Jeff Doughton Jr., who played 24 minutes tonight, added 10 points and 6 assists. I was very impressed with him, and I thought he looked really solid. But, yeah, as a team, D+ for this one.
D+. All right. And how about you, Mr. Mitch?
I'll give the team a D, but Tobias Harris gets an F-. So for me, that's mine. I don't care what anyone says. That's it. Hey, if it wasn't for that fourth quarter, I would have gave this team a C.
I think you guys are.
Yeah, I'm going with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think you guys are right. I think D is a fair assessment. I mean, you had to put up a nice little battle in the first half. You had this team at arm's length, and you guys just like yesterday, you just let it slip out your fingers. I can't reward you for that. I can't award you for being flat in the second half. I can't award anything other than fix this. Fix this as a team, not Nick Nurse, not just Toby. Fix this as a whole. This whole needs to be fixed. I mean, if you want to really pinpoint Kelly Oubre, if Toby just says Tobias Harris. Thank you.
That's the one I just call him that every time now.
Yeah. Thank you. My man Steve saying, and like I said, we have a lot coming in, man. We have Toby pump fake down low is completely commercial at the point that needed to be abandoned.
like
He
we
missed
lost
6
Sean.
close range. I don't blame Sean. He probably once we heard Toby. This is just facts. No players above tonight. No one. Listen again. Marshawn Lynch says the Sixers suck. Harden and Grizzlies are winning. God truly hates the Sixers. Oh, God. I'm gonna get through some of these. Their sucks. Oh, come on. Let's be grateful. We have Nurse and we had a bad as I hear you. The effing Cookie Man. Paul Reed can't play defense. Nick regrets on defense badly. Yeah. Hill cannot rotate on D. He must come off the bench. Yeah, but Steve, who do you got replacing? Oh man, yeah, we lost our man Sean. Hopefully he'll come back. But listen, me and Matt will hold down for a little bit more. Oh, like I said, I say Nighthawk, he pops right back on here.
F- for my internet as well.
Your internet on the quiz bust just as bad as Toby.
That's still better than Tobias.
Yes, at least your internet gave us at least 4.5 quarters, 3.5 quarters there. Here goes. What do you think about this, there, Sean? Hill can't rotate on D. He must come off the bench. Is that a little crazy talk, or is it just me? Oh man, he froze again. I did give this internet a C. It's Mitch, what do you think? Oh, there he is. Is he there? Is he real?
Are you good?
I'm here.
Okay, Sean. Sean. What did you think about this one? Hill cannot rotate off the D.
He's definitely not a great defender. That's been a critique of his. I think we're seeing it more. I do think a little bit of it is scheme based. That I'll say that Nick Nurse does a lot as far as the rotations with what is advanced, what you're expected of. I don't think Buddy Hield has caught up to a lot of it yet. I'm hoping it gets better over time, but there were a couple examples that were pretty glaring today. So yeah, not great.
Yeah, absolutely. And Tech's just giving Tech, I don't know. There's a lot of Doc love going around. I think a lot of people are starting to miss Doc, apparently. Ricky Cancel's getting the Isaiah Joe treatment. Wow.
How many times I heard that today? I've been hearing that so much.
What, really? Mo Bama is the Epcot Center party favorite that Joe's friends with. Our very own Freddie Burns checking in. What's up, Freddie? Freddie goes, Tobias Harris was fifth in the shots tonight. I didn't see the game. Did he get doubled? No, he didn't get doubled. He just flat out sucked there, Freddie. He just sucks.
By the way.
He just sucks ass. That's what he does. He's Tobias ass top. It's just horrible. It's just horrible.
Oh my God! I don't know if I could take
Josh Harris doesn't even know. Yeah, Josh doesn't even know who the Sixers are anymore. Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I mean, guys, did you see the starting lineup tonight? This isn't an unexpected loss tonight. Right. And Fred, you make the most sense. This wasn't a expected loss. We kind of checked it, but I mean, we thought there would have been some kind of comeback, some kind of fight from yesterday from you being flat, again, coming up just short. We thought they would have that urge and wanted to compete, and nothing. Exactly. Once the motion's cleared, right. I totally get it. Freddie Burns is also saying that this team's in danger, missing the playoffs. I see. This is where we're slowing that one down. I mean, we're going to get some pieces back. I get it. Everyone's up in the air right now. And listen, you have every right to push the panic button. Every right now. But at some point, you're going to get Maxey back, and you're going to get Joe back on some minutes restriction. Let's buck down the trend and just let this thing play out. And like I said, we didn't have Kyle Lowry. We're missing pieces. So again, and kudos to that Memphis team. They're trying things out for next year. They're they're doing all right. Maybe they found some things. But listen, guys, we're going to get ready to rock out of here. But I want to thank everyone who's chimed into the show. Sorry we can't get to everyone's comment. Guys, we definitely one more. This is pretty funny. Yes.
Who?
We don't worry about that one there. If you don't get it, Mitch, you just don't worry about it. But anyway,
I'm sending this one out.
Little Oubre shout
yeah.
out.
I figured
Yes,
that.
a little Oubre. But listen, Sean Range. Yes, it did. But listen, I want to thank everyone for chiming into the show. We will be back here Friday to do a post game. We'll see what the Sixers can do. Maybe the Sixers just need a little time to get away from basketball a little bit and get their heads right. Maybe we'll get a good Toby sign just from my man Quinn. So, guys, look.
I got to see that comment first.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nick. Make sure you get a Pat from Ambler tattoo somewhere on the back after you get the Paul Reed one. But I just want to say thank you guys so much again. Mitch, where can the people find you at?
Well, you can find me on Edge of Philly Sports tomorrow for Fly Like an Eagle. The whole episode is dedicated to Jason Kelsey. Make sure you tune in for that. Hardcore Sports, YouTube, everywhere.
Yeah, well, guess what? Toby has another night. It'll be a Fly Like a Toby podcast soon. It'll be flying out of here.
That should have been done already, like 2 years ago.
I guess that podcast is never coming. But my man Sean Bernard, Sean, where can the people find you? And what's your latest project?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Sean_Bernard1. Check out Pick Swap Media, Sixers Digest. You can also hear me in the Fox Sports The Gambler airwaves. We dropped a Picks and Roll episode talking about all the NBA games tomorrow night. Also got a couple new videos out on Digest, so check those out. And also catch me 11 to 1 on air on Fox Sports The Gambler. So we'll be there on Saturday.
Oh man, awesome! I love it. I love you. I love what you and Mr. Brace does. I mean, I get to see Brace every time at the Wings game. You guys got a great group of guys over there. You, Sean, you're just a great team over there. But yeah, for me, of course, you can catch me, Pat Bernard, aka Pat from Ambler, on X, and of course, tomorrow night I will be doing a Union show with my Tack and Third with my man. Austin Hamill will be breaking down some Union soccer and see why can't they buy a win. But anyway, we talk tons of soccer. We got lacrosse. Of course you can catch me down at the Wings game this Sunday breaking down some Wings lacrosse. But guys, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you at Just Philly Sports. Thank you, my man Sean and my man Mitch. And again, Dives, you're welcome to come back now. You are welcome to come back from the penalty box. You are not in trouble. It's not you. We thought it was you. It's clearly not. It's clearly not, my friend. Guys, have a great night. We're out of here.